Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of TEW 2020 WWE. And we're here today with the Royal Rumble, the first pay-per-view of 2022. One of the biggest and most exciting pay-per-views of the year, of course, featuring not one, but two 30-person Royal Rumble matches, the men's and the women's, as well as a stacked card of other matches going on tonight. The road to WrestleMania truly begins here, and I cannot wait. So let's just get right into it. The Royal Rumble kicking off on the pre-show with Legado taking on MSK for the Cruiserweight Tag Team titles, and in the end, Legado come out on top, hitting MSK with the Patrimonio Driver to retain their Cruiserweight Tag Team gold. For a 70, happy with this, good little rating. 69 Carrillo, 68 Escobar, 60 Carter, 55 Lee. No complaints on my end, as after the match, Legado, all three members of Legado, with Zelina Vega shouting the orders, beat down on MSK. They took out Trey Griffin already, and now they're taking out Carter and Lee. They nailed them with their finishers, leave them laying. In the end, Legado walking away with all their gold, whilst medics have to check on Carter and Lee of MSK here. Not a pretty sight on the pre-show, but Legado said they wanted to deal with MSK once and for all, and they might have done that for a 67. Good opener on the pre-show, happy with that, getting the Rumble off to a good start. Before we have the second pre-show match here, that has been building since the beginning of December, really. It is Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Black wanted Lashley. He had to work his way through the Hurt Business. He found the help of Cedric Alexander and Ricochet along the way. But now it's Black and Lashley. Alexander and Ricochet at ringside, making sure none of the other Hurt Business members get involved. And in the end, between Black and Lashley, Black gets the win, hitting Lashley with the Black Mass to pick up the victory for an 81. 84 Black, 69 Lashley. Very happy with this in our pre-show main event, as Aleister Black finally defeats Bobby Lashley. He has finally overcome the Dominator, the Destroyer. The seemingly unstoppable Lashley has been stopped by that beautiful Black Mass of Aleister Black. We then kick off the main show with the opening video package, as you'd expect, highlighting some of the massive things got going on tonight. WWE title match between Amcon and Kevin Owens, Universal title match, Extreme Rules, Bullard versus the Demon, Finn Balor. You have Gable and Thatcher in a no-holds-barred. You have Bayley and Banks. You have Asuka and Shayna, Raquel and Tegan. You've got the Smackdown tag titles on the line in a fatal four-way match between Woods and Ali, between the New Day, the Usos, LA Knight and Socrates, Torres of the Bullard brand. And that's before even mentioning the 30-man and the 30 women's Rumble, featuring people like Keith Lee, Kyle O'Reilly, Roman Reigns, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, and so many more big names. A stacked card overall, a 100 for this opening video package. A very good start to things here. Before, to kick things off, it's time to go very NXT, and we're kicking off with a tag team match. The vacant Smackdown tag titles on the line. The United States Champion Xavier Woods and Mustafa Ali, the Usos, the Bullard Brands members of LA Knight, and the former champion Socrates Torres, and the New Day Big E and Kofi Kingston. So many things at play here. The Usos wanting to do this for Roman, wanting to do it for the Bloodline. Torres wanting to get that gold back, wanting to get the Smackdown tag titles back to the Bullard brand with his new partner LA Knight with Alfonso Bourbon injured. The New Day wanting another tag title to their collection, but also Big E and Kofi so focused on getting revenge on Xavier Woods, who is also focused on having his moment and proving he's better than E and Woods. Ali wanting to do the same, wanting revenge on Kofi especially. So many things going on here in this match. And in the end, the fatal four-way tag team match for the vacant SmackDown tag team titles. Mustafa Ali focusing on Kofi Kingston, beating him down in the ring, just ground and pounding him in the face. Kofi very quickly fading here. Mustafa Ali could just pin him, but he's enjoying this too much. He's getting this revenge. He climbs to the top rope and he hits his 450, smashing down on Kofi before bouncing up a little bit, right into a super kick from Jimmy Uso, whilst Jey Uso climbs to the top rope and hits the splash onto Mustafa Ali before pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. Your winners and the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions are the Usos. Roman Reigns said they'd do it, and they have. They've won the gold. This time around, it was Mustafa Ali becoming so distracted by his want for revenge on Kofi Kingston that he got tunnel vision. He was focused on that, not on winning this match, winning the Smackdown tag titles, and that cost him in the end. 83 for the match, really good opener here. 89 Big E, 83 Jey Uso, 78 Jimmy Uso, 78 Socrates Torres, 77 Kofi Kingston, 73 Woods, 65 Knight, 45 Mustafa Ali, all doing really well here. And then after the match, Xavier Woods dragging Ali out the ring and helping him up the ramp. Big E in the ring, checking on Kofi. And Big E and Xavier both also staring each other down, not looking happy. But this isn't their moment really, it's the Usos. The Usos have won the SmackDown Tag Champs. The Usos are the Tag Team Champions again for an 83. Good segment as well. The Royal Rumble keeps on chugging along. Next up with the NXT Women's Championship match. It is Raquel Gonzalez defending her gold against Tegan Nox. Now these superstars in the past 4 or 5 months have fought 3 times one-on-one. Every match ending in disqualification. Tegan Nox with 2 DQ wins, Raquel Gonzalez with 1, but Tegan Nox has something Raquel Gonzalez doesn't have. She has a pinfall victory over her, pinning her in the War Games match last month, and now getting this one-on-one match. If she pins her again, she gets the NXT Women's title. And in the end, for the NXT Women's title, Gonzalez versus Nox. Gonzalez picks up the win with the one-arm powerbomb to retain the NXT Women's Championship for an 81. Good match. 76 Nox, 68 with Raquel. Both doing well. But Raquel Gonzalez, her strength, her power, in the end, too much for the never quit attitude of Tegan Nox as she keeps her gold. Before we keep things NXT, next up with a massive match that has been building for a while. It is the NXT Championship match. Chad Gable defending his gold against Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher drafted over, went for Randy Orton, took him out of action. He hasn't been seen since War Games with that Fujiwara armbar in their match at War Games. Regal wanting to punish him for his brutality. Thatcher threatening Regal, threatening to hurt Jason Jordan. Chad Gable drawing a line as the figurehead of NXT, accepting Thatcher's challenge, making it no holds barred. He says he's going to break Thatcher and not the other way around. It's Chad Gable versus Timothy Thatcher, no holds barred for the NXT Championship. And in the end, Chad Gable overcomes the odds, pinning Thatcher after hitting him with the RKO. The move that his mentor, Randy Orton, the man Thatcher took out at War Games, taught him. Gable pinning Thatcher with that RKO to retain the NXT Championship for an 82. Good match between these two. 88 Gable, 70 Thatcher. Happy with this, both doing well. But it's Chad Gable who keeps his gold and then afterwards celebrating. He raises the title. He stands tall over Thatcher like he said he would. He didn't let Thatcher break him. He kept that NXT Championship in his hands, around his waist. He is the champion. He is still at the top of NXT for a 100. Really amazing post-match segment there between Gable and Thatcher. And that 100 is exactly the kind of rating you want heading into the next match, because it is time for the Royal Rumble. The men's Royal Rumble, to be exact. 30 men, a stacked card. Reigns, Lee, O'Reilly, Edge, Joe, Reed, Theory, so many huge names, 30 to be exact. So many big superstars in this match. And without further ado, let's get right into it. And the men's Royal Rumble getting underway here with, of course, number 1.
Shock the system.
Kyle O'Reilly. We knew he was number 1. Adam Cole saying that Kyle O'Reilly could enter number 1 and win the Rumble as a whole in his little feud with Kevin Owens. Management deciding that sounded great and making Kyle O'Reilly the number 1 entrant here in the Rumble. Kyle not happy with it, but if he wants a world title match at WrestleMania, he's going to have to run the gauntlet. Kyle O'Reilly making his way down to the ring before we find out number 2.
For he is limitless.
And it is Keith Lee. Kyle O'Reilly not just going to have to run the gauntlet, but also immediately going to have to deal with Keith Lee. Keith Lee having a great time of things on SmackDown, making his intentions of wanting to fight Thaddeus Bullard for the Universal Championship. Very, very clear. And entering as number 2 in this Rumble here. If he wants that match with Bullard at Mania, he'll have to run the gauntlet as well. Keith Lee making his way out to the ring, and Keith Lee and Kyle O'Reilly getting this match underway. Keith Lee, of course, had his problems in the past with the Undisputed Era. Him and Kyle going at it. Kyle giving it all he's got, giving some big kicks to Keith Lee here, but Keith Lee's agility, Keith Lee's strength, Keith Lee getting the better of Kyle in this opening exchange before it is time for number 3.
Yeah.
And it's Cameron Grimes, a member of the Bullard brand. Cameron Grimes making his way down to the ring, trying to get Keith Lee while he's a bit distracted with Kyle O'Reilly, but Keith Lee having none of it. Cameron Grimes trying to fight him, but Keith Lee going for Cameron Grimes, lifting him up and hitting a spirit bomb onto him very quickly. Cameron Grimes bouncing immediately back up into the ropes and bouncing towards Keith Lee, who runs against the ropes and hits the pounce on him, that big kind of body dash. And Cameron Grimes flying backwards over the top rope and out of the ring. Cameron Grimes very quickly eliminated by Keith Lee in this Rumble. Keith Lee showing his strength and his ability before it's time for number 4.
Yeah. Top floor on my level. Shine like a bezel, burn like a kettle. I'm unforgettable. Wish they did it, but they never could. Looking in the...
And Austin Theory runs down to the ring, looks at Keith Lee, maybe decides better of going for him, goes for Kyle O'Reilly instead, but Kyle O'Reilly not to be messed with, hits a big kick onto Austin Theory, stunning him before he grabs him and tosses him over the top rope. Austin Theory eliminated quickly is here as well. Keith Lee and Kyle O'Reilly, number 1 and 2, both getting early eliminations here before going right back at each other. Keith Lee and Kyle O'Reilly fighting it out still. A good fight. The crowd's enjoying it. Keith Lee and Kyle O'Reilly going at it as the timer goes down for number 5. And it's Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, runner-up in the NXT Breakout Tournament, having a nice little go of things over on Smackdown, makes his way out to the ring. And you have to admit, Bronson Reed maybe a bit harder to eliminate than Cameron Grimes and Austin Theory. As Bronson Reed and Keith Lee stare down, Keith Lee getting the better of that exchange with Kyle O'Reilly once again. Him and Bronson Reed staring down, the two big guys, but not just that, two agile guys. They both got strength and agility, and they go at it, a nice little battle, both of them taking turns, running at the ramp, running at the ropes, bouncing off and running back at each other and slamming into each other. Both of them doing it in the end and taking each other down. The crowd going crazy as the timer goes down for number 6.
Velveteen Dream. Hit it.
And it's the former NXT North American champion, the Velveteen Dream, who slowly makes his way down to the ring. Keith Lee and Bronson Reed stopping their encounter to look over him. Velveteen Dream waving him off, saying, "No, just keep doing what you're doing. That's fine. I'm just going to wait right here." Velveteen Dream waiting at the bottom of the ramp as Keith Lee and Bronson Reed both tell him to get in the ring. Velveteen Dream deciding better of it, perhaps, as his entrance so long. The timer going down again now for number 7. And you can see who he was waiting for. It's Isaiah Swerve Scott, his little partner in crime, who comes down to the ring for Dream, and they smile at each other and nod before going in the ring. Swerve and Dream attacking Bronson Reed, working him down together. Keith Lee trying to help, but them attacking him as well, working him down. Dream and Scott taking control of this match a little bit, as the timer eventually ticking down for number 8.
I'm the greatest to ever do it, nobody do it better. Committed, I never quit it, I'm doing this forever. The greatest to...
The NXT North American champion, Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes beating Dream for the belt. Himself and his group destined for greatness, having some problems with Dream's group in recent times. And Carmelo Hayes in the ring, attacking Dream. Scott helping Dream. Hayes attacking him as well. Hayes giving this all he's got. He's got this energy. The crowd going crazy, but Scott and Dream's number advantage coming on top here, working down Carmelo Hayes together. Scott holding Hayes up for Dream. Dream shouting in Hayes' face that he deserves this, that he got into Dream's business for no reason, that he is not on the level of the Dream. The Dream is better than him and everyone else around here as the timer ticks down for number 9. Aleister Black, who quickly runs down to the ring and goes right for the Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream in shock, sending Scott after him, but Aleister Black hitting a black mass onto Isaiah Swerve Scott. Velveteen Dream going for a super kick, but Black ducking underneath that, and Carmelo Hayes hitting a super kick onto Velveteen Dream instead. Aleister Black grabbing the Velveteen Dream by the head, and Carmelo Hayes grabbing Isaiah Swerve Scott by the head, and Black and Hayes look at each other and kind of both nod in agreement before they both tossed him over the rope. Dream and Scott eliminated by Black and Hayes respectively here. Black and Hayes working together. Both of them have beef with Dream and Scott, and both getting a little measure of revenge here, following that alliance to take them both out. And then the match, going on in the ring. Kyle O'Reilly back to his feet, fighting out with Aleister Black. A hard-hitting battle, strong kicks from both men. Carmelo Hayes and Bronson Reed going at it, both from the NXT Breakout Tournament, remember. Keith Lee getting involved as well as the timer ticks down for number 10.
I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. You can say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back.
The Miz, smiling, taking his time and getting in the ring, only to be quickly clotheslined out of it by Keith Lee here. Keith Lee immediately eliminating Miz. Miz sat in shock at the bottom of the rope. Kind of in the same vein as Santino Marella, Royal Rumble 2009. He's not shouting, "I wasn't ready." The Miz just in shock, doesn't know what to say. Keith Lee, another elimination to his name after taking the Miz out there. The match going on, Miz still sat in shock 90 seconds later as the timer ticks down for number 11. And it is the fabulous Frederick Fairchild who makes his way down to the ring quickly, but stops at the bottom of the ramp just to laugh at the Miz, looking at the Miz, pointing at him, and laughing following the Miz's quick elimination. They've had this thing going the past couple months, and now Fairchild enjoying Miz's quick elimination, as Fairchild, still laughing, climbs up onto the apron, turns back to look at Miz one last time, laughing again as Fairchild gets in the ring, and himself is quickly eliminated, this time by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed eliminating Fairchild immediately, much like Keith Lee did to the Miz. Fairchild sat in shock at the bottom of the ramp as he slowly turns his head to look at the Miz, and the Miz laughs at him. Both men enjoying each other's quick eliminations, whilst not enjoying their own, you have to think, but still the consolation that the other superstar did no better as the match goes on in the ring. 90 seconds later, no eliminations. Time for number 12. Damian Priest, and Damian Priest rushes to the ring, and Damian Priest having a little hard-hitting fight with Bronson Reed. Damian Priest hitting him some big kicks. Bronson Reed soaking it up, wanting more. Him and Bronson Reed just getting into it here. Bronson Reed soaking up the kicks, eventually running up the rope and slamming into Priest, but Priest bouncing off the ropes and turning into a big spin kick against Bronson Reed, finally managing to take him down as the timer comes down and the buzzer goes off for number 13. Mustafa Ali, of course, turning heel recently, aligning with Xavier Woods against Big E and Kofi Kingston, makes his way out here, and him and Carmelo Hayes have a little quick high-flying fight. Both men rushing around the ring, very agile, flying around, fighting it out. Just a nice, we've had a lot of hard-hitting little moments in this match. Just a nice little high-flying fight, just to spice it up a little bit. Hayes jumping off the Hayes springboarding off the rope, going high, but Bronson Reed managing to catch him in midair, and Bronson Reed throwing the North American champion over the rope and out of the match. Carmelo Hayes eliminated here, but a good showing from him here. He managed to get the better of the Velveteen Dream and Isaiah Scott, which I'm sure he'll love. Nice little bout between him and Ali during this. Happy with his performance. Bronson Reed, another elimination for him as the timer runs out and the buzzer goes off for number 14. Rich Swann here. Rich Swann of Smackdown, of course, makes his way out to the ring here, having a little go of things himself. Damian Priest and Aleister Black getting in things as well. Both of them going at it in a little stiff fight. Aleister Black going for Black Mass on Damian Priest, but Damian Priest ducking underneath and turning it into a big roundhouse kick, dazing Aleister Black as Damian Priest grabs him and tosses him out of the ring. Damian Priest eliminating Aleister Black. Aleister Black out of it here. Aleister Black managed to get some more revenge on Velveteen Dream during the match, but not managing to get the win. Eliminated by Priest as the timer ticks down and the buzzer goes off for number 15. And no music plays when suddenly the lights go out. And they come back on and the Fiend is in the ring. And the Fiend goes crazy, taking everyone down. The Fiend hitting a Sister Abigail onto Mustafa Ali and tossing him out of the ring. The Fiend turning into a rich kick from Rich Swann. The Fiend bouncing at the rope and right into Rich Swann, taking him down, lifting him up, hitting a Sister Abigail on him as well, before tossing him over the rope and out of the ring. The Fiend, two very quick eliminations here, before the Fiend turning his attention to Damian Priest. The two of them fighting out. The Fiend getting Damian Priest into the Sister Abigail position, but Damian Priest managing to fight him out, getting to a standing position himself, and hit the Reckoning onto the Fiend before Damian Priest lifts the Fiend up and tosses him out of the ring. The Fiend eliminated here by Damian Priest. The Fiend, a nice little showing, 2 eliminations, but Damian Priest managing to eliminate him in the end here. A big moment for Damian Priest. When the lights go out, when they come back on, the Fiend is gone as the timer ticks down and the buzzer goes off for number 16, halfway through the match here.
I bring the swag like nobody can. Don't mean to brag, what about it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. It's in the bag, man, I got it, yeah.
And it's Montez Ford. Montez Ford moved over to Raw in the draft. A win over the WWE champion Adam Cole. Had his WWE title match. Couldn't get the win there, but doing amazingly nonetheless. Making his way out here. Montez Ford bundles of energy, and we get to see bouts with him against Keith Lee and Bronson Reed and Damian Priest going for these bigger guys. This never die attitude from Montez Ford, giving as good as he can get against these big guys. Damian Priest hitting that big spin kick onto Montez Ford. Montez Ford falling backwards, bouncing against the rope, and then hyping up and keep Damian Priest down with a big drop kick here as the timer comes down and the buzzer goes off for number 17. Samoa Joe, new on SmackDown, doing well there, comes down to the ring and him and Ford get into it. Ford's had these battles with these big guys, and here is another one for him to fight with. Samoa Joe, and him and Samoa Joe get into things here. Ford using his agility, using his speed, Samoa Joe using his strength, trying to stop Ford, trying to take his legs out, trying to get him on the ground. Both men going at it as the timer runs out eventually and the buzzer goes off for number 18. And it is your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, who slowly makes his way down to the ring and goes straight for Montez Ford. Him and Montez Ford, former SmackDown Tag Team Champions, a weird statement to say, but it's true nonetheless, and had their battles as well, with Montez Ford actually coming out on top over Roman Reigns in the end. In the feud they had, Reigns so going right for Ford. Ford done great, but a bit tired. I mean, he's had fights with Lee, Breed, Priest, and now Joe as well. Four hard-hitting guys, tired, a bit bruised and banged up. Roman Reigns going right for him, and Reigns hitting a Superman punch before throwing him out of the ring. Montez Ford eliminated by Roman Reigns here. And then Roman Reigns going for Reed. Him and Bronson Reed fighting it out. Both giving as good as they got. Roman Reigns hitting a big spear on Reed. Reed not going down though, just groggy as Roman Reigns does the ooh ah. Once again setting up for another one when...
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Waiting for the Rock to come out. The Rock doesn't though. Roman Reigns distracted, however, as Bronson Reed regaining his consciousness a bit, you'd think, and runs at Roman Reigns and clotheslines him over the rope and out of the ring. Roman Reigns eliminated by Bronson Reed here, following that distraction from the Rock. Roman Reigns and the Rock's little rivalry nowhere near done yet, you'd have to think. Roman Reigns eliminated by Bronson Reed though, as Damian Priest and Keith Lee getting into things once again in the ring here, both of them going at it, and in the end Keith Lee hitting a spirit bomb onto Damian Priest before lifting him up and tossing him over the top rope. Damian Priest eliminated as well here. Damian Priest, a really good showing, eliminating Aleister Black and The Fiend here, two big superstars. Really good work from Damian Priest, but eliminated by Keith Lee in the end. His third elimination of the match. Keith Lee doing great as the timer goes down and the buzzer goes off for number 19.
El ídolo.
The Cruiserweight champion, Andrade, the leader of Legado, comes down to the ring. Andrade getting into things here with Kyle O'Reilly a bit. Kyle O'Reilly trying to stay out of things, you know. Entered at number 1, still here come number 19, doing very well. Kyle O'Reilly a bit banged up though. I mean, when you start with Keith Lee, you have to fight Keith Lee quite a bit, and that is always going to bang you up quite a bit, isn't it? Him and Andrade getting into things here. Andrade trying to take him out. Kyle O'Reilly though, not quitting, not giving up, giving it right back to the Cruiserweight champion. And the two fighting out, Reed and Keith Lee fighting out once again as well. Keith Lee and Bronson Reed fighting quite a lot throughout this match. The two big guys both going at it, both wanting to prove the better big guy here, but both giving as good as they can get. As the timer comes down, the buzzer goes off for number 20. Johnny Gargano storming down to the ring. Kyle O'Reilly down once again. Him and Andrade going at it, rekindling that old NXT rivalry they once had. They had absolute bangers in NXT. I think they had Dave Meltzer 5-star. I could be wrong there, but I think they did it at a takeover. And they're both having a 5-star little matchup here. Quick action, both of them fresh, of course, 19 and 20 respectively. Bundles of energy. Both going at it. Reed and Keith Lee stopped their little fight, both resting and regaining some energy. Just Andrade and Gargano, the clear focus right now. Both men going at each other, the crowd loving it. Another just little segment during the match just to break things up. Andrade and Gargano going for each other, both giving it all they got. Gargano getting the better of it in the end, taking Andrade down as the timer counts to 0 and the buzzer goes off for number 21. Daniel Bryan storming out to the ring, and him and Gargano stare down and both men smile before they fight. Bryan and Gargano both going at each other. Kicks, punches, grappling, technical masterclass. Daniel Bryan and Gargano for the full 90 seconds just have an amazing match, as you'd expect Daniel Bryan and Johnny Gargano to have, going at each other. Bryan and the Intercontinental Champion fighting it out. Neither man coming out on top. They both, in the end, maybe running out of energy a bit here, taking each other down, whilst Reed and Samoa Joe both get into things as well. Both hossing it out here. A big fight between the two big men, two superstars, both drafted to SmackDown in the draft. And in the end, the newer, younger Bronson Reed getting the better of Samoa Joe here, tossing him out of the ring and out of this match. Samoa Joe eliminated by Bronson Reed. A big elimination by Reed. Quite a few eliminations for him in this match. His 4th, I do believe. And Samoa Joe not happy, climbing onto the apron and grabbing Reed, locking him in that coquina clutch. Reed trying to fight out, but he's been in this match for so long and so much of that has been spent fighting with Keith Lee. He's going to be tired, isn't he? And Samoa Joe wearing Reed down. Reed fading quickly here as Samoa Joe drags him over the top rope and out of the ring. Bronson Reed eliminated by Samoa Joe here. Bronson Reed, you'd have to think, not happy with that. Eliminated by a superstar, not even in the match, but Joe getting that anger out from his elimination on Reed. Reed, the 16th elimination here, as the timer does tick down for number 22 here.
You think you know me?
On this day.
And it's Edge. Edge storming to the ring. Edge wanting to win the Royal Rumble again. Wanting to main event WrestleMania again. Edge wanting to be world champion again. Into the ring, and Edge goes spear crazy. Spear for Kyle O'Reilly. Spear for Bryan. Spear for Andrade. Spear for Gargano. He goes for a spear on Keith Lee. Keith Lee, though, reverses it, lifts Edge up for the Spirit Bomb, but Edge rakes the eyes of Keith Lee. Keith Lee blinded, dropping Edge, who runs, rebounds off the rope, and hits a spear on Keith Lee, taking him down as well. Edge, absolute spear crazy here, taking out the field in the ring. The crowd hyped up Edge, a heel, of course, but I mean, who isn't going to love watching Edge hit a big spear on Keith Lee like that? As the timer does hit 0, and the buzzer goes off for number 23 here.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
And it's Randy Orton who makes his way down to the ring here. And Randy Orton and Edge, the only men standing. In the past, tag team partners, but in the recent past, bitter rivals. Edge and Orton, remember, fought in the main event of WrestleMania 37 for the WWE Championship, with Edge's career on the line as well. Edge came out on top there, but since then, a lot has happened. Mainly so, you have to remember, the face and heel roles reversed here. Edge, the heel now here, following that brutal assault of Angel Garza, whilst Randy Orton, the face, over on NXT, training the NXT champion Chad Gable. Both men rekindling that rivalry, going at it, giving it everything they've got. Edge using some more heelish tactics, whilst Randy Orton just using his natural wrestling ability. Randy Orton's very, very good, slow, methodical, but very quick-paced here, because you've got to be in the Rumble. There's no time to waste and there's no time to wait. The two men just going at it as the timer eventually ticks down and the buzzer goes off for number 24. And it's John Cena. John Cena coming out to the ring, and Edge, Orton and Cena getting in things here. The three superstars, they've all had their feuds in the past. And when I say the past, you're looking at 2006, 7, 8. Orton, Edge, Cena in various combinations have had great matches, have had massive rivalries, and the three superstars all going at it here. Whilst Bryan and Gargano starting up their fight again. Both superstars going for each other. Bryan going for a running knee, but Gargano ducking underneath it. Bryan to his feet. Gargano, a big super kick onto Bryan. Bryan bouncing off the ropes back to Gargano for another big super kick. Bryan rebounding off the ropes once again into Gargano for a third super kick, and this time Bryan falling backwards over the rope and out of the match. Daniel Bryan eliminated by Gargano here. Gargano, the Intercontinental Champion, getting that big elimination as Daniel Bryan exits this match. And the timer counts down and the buzzer goes off for number 25. And it's Cesaro. Cesaro out to the ring. Over on Cesaro on NXT now, having a decent time of things, but out to the ring. Cesaro wanting his moment, wanting to be world champion, wanting to showcase his abilities, and no better time or place than the Royal Rumble. Coming down to the ring, and Cesaro getting into the things. And we have a little moment, Cesaro and Keith Lee going at it. Cesaro with an uppercut to Lee. Lee with that double hand chop to Cesaro. The two men just trading blows, fighting it out. It's beautiful to see. You love to see it. Whilst Orton and Gargano have started going at things here. The quick pace of Gargano, the slow, methodical Randy Orton. Johnny Gargano setting up for that slingshot DDT he does, but Randy Orton catching him with an RKO. Don't think of the specifics of how that would work. Just take it as a cool spot, please. As Orton lifts Gargano up and eliminates the Intercontinental Champion. Gargano, a nice little spell here. Got that elimination on Daniel Bryan, but eliminated by Orton in the end. As the timer ticks down and the buzzer goes off for number 26. And it's AJ Styles. AJ Styles coming out to the ring here. In a mood for it. He sees Cesaro a bit groggy. He climbs up, goes for the phenomenal forearm, jumps up, leaps across the air. But Cesaro, noticing him, hits a massive uppercut, taking AJ down. Cesaro grabs AJ, lifts him up, and tosses him over the top rope. AJ Styles eliminated very quickly by Cesaro here. But Cesaro turning around into Keith Lee, who pounces on him, sending him flying over the top rope. Cesaro getting that big elimination by AJ Styles, but eliminated by Lee very quickly here. The 20th elimination of the match, as Randy and Andrade go into things. They've had their feuds in the recent past over on NXT. A lot of great matches between the pair. They were both on Team NXT at bragging rights. Andrade eliminated Orton, one of the two survivors with Chad Gable. They get into things here. And in the end, Orton managing to hit an RKO onto Andrade and eliminating him. The Cruiserweight Champion, the 21st elimination here, as the timer ticks down and the buzzer goes off for number 27. And it is Seth Rollins of NXT. Seth Rollins quickly into the ring here. Him and Randy Orton getting into things and fighting it out. They've had their problems in the far past, in the recent past. Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. So many great matches together. So many great moments between the pair. Fighting out here in the Rumble. And in the end, Seth Rollins managing to get the better of Orton and eliminating him. Randy Orton eliminated by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins doing that lovely laugh of his at Randy Orton following his elimination. Orton not happy, of course, as the timer ticks down and the buzzer goes off for number 28. And it's Bullard brand member LA Knight who runs to the ring and focuses entirely on Keith Lee here. Keith Lee entered at number 2, still in this match. He eliminated Bullard brand member Cameron Grimes, and LA Knight going right for him here. Keith Lee a lot more tired and banged up than when Cameron Grimes came in though. LA Knight going right for him here, fighting him, beating him down, smiling, talking all throughout it. LA Knight loves chatting, doesn't he? Going right for Keith Lee. Keith Lee trying to fight him off, gaining a bit of an advantage, getting back into this here when the timer counts down, the buzzer goes off for number 29. And it's Apollo Crews. You have to think Thaddeus Bullard and Paul Heyman had some say in these two being so late in the match. 28 and 29 respectively. Crews rushing down to the ring and joining LA Knight in attacking Keith Lee. Keith Lee was starting to get back into it against Knight, but with Apollo Crews here as well, Crews and Knight begin to take control of things here. Attacking Keith Lee, enjoying hurting him, enjoying him beating him down. Also going on, Seth Rollins and John Cena getting into things here. They've had their feuds in the past, remember. They've had their battles for world titles, and they're two getting into here. Seth Rollins getting the advantage, going for the curb stomp, but much akin to the Seth Rollins Randy Orton spot at Mania, where Seth Rollins was in the air and then caught into the RKO. Seth Rollins in the air, caught by John Cena in the fireman's carry, and then John Cena going over to the rope and AAing Seth Rollins over the rope and out of the ring. Seth Rollins eliminated here, and we are down to 7 in the ring here as the timer ticks down and the buzzer goes off for number 30, the final superstar in the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble match. And it's Angel Garza. Angel Garza not seen since that unsanctioned match with Edge at Extreme Rules. Edge shocked in the ring as Angel Garza comes out from backstage onto the stage. The crowd explodes. The crowd's cheering. Angel Garza back, rushes to the ring and straight for Edge. The two men fighting it out here. Edge still in shock, can't believe it. Garza beginning to take control here. Edge getting back into things here, going for the spear on Garza, but Garza ducking down, pulling the rope, and Edge flying over the top rope and out of the ring. Edge eliminated by Angel Garza here. Garza getting a measure of revenge on his recent rival Edge, eliminating him from the match. Edge will not be going to Mania, will not be fighting for a world title. Edge can't believe it. Garza with that elimination on him. Edge jumps on the apron like he's going to get back in the ring when Angel Garza hits him with a stiff elbow, taking Edge down. Edge eliminated here, and we are down to the final 6 here. Angel Garza, Apollo Crews, John Cena, Keith Lee, Kyle O'Reilly, and LA Knight. One of these 6 men will be going to WrestleMania, and Apollo Crews and LA Knight work down on Keith Lee. John Cena coming to Keith Lee's aid a bit here, fighting off Crews and Knight, going for the AA on Apollo Crews, but LA Knight dragging Crews off Cena's back before tossing John Cena over the rope and out of the ring. John Cena eliminated by LA Knight here. LA Knight smiling, laughing, loving this. We're down to a final 5 as LA Knight and Apollo Crews turn their attention back to Keith Lee, slowly lifting him up, ready to eliminate him, smiling at each other, nodding at each other, running up the rope, but Keith Lee standing firm, and they try to drag him towards the rope again, but Keith Lee standing firm once more, and they try a third time, and this time Keith Lee stands up strong, the crowd going crazy. Keith Lee hulking up a bit here as he grabs Crews and Knight by the head and tosses them both over the rope and out the ring. Apollo Crews and LA Knight both eliminated by Keith Lee here. They can't believe it, they're in shock. Keith Lee eliminating them both. Keith Lee enjoying the moment before turning around, and out of nowhere, Thaddeus Bullard in the ring hits the Bullard boot onto Keith Lee, and Keith Lee falls over the rope and out of the ring. Keith Lee eliminated here by the Universal Champion Thaddeus Bullard. Thaddeus Bullard, you have to think, was waiting for someone to eliminate Lee. And, I mean, Keith Lee getting to the final 3 here. Maybe Bullard realising, if you want a job done, do it yourself, eliminating Keith Lee here. Keith Lee out of the match. And then at ringside, Crews, Knight and Bullard all beating down on Lee. Whilst in the ring, we're down to the final 2 in the men's Royal Rumble. Angel Garza and Kyle O'Reilly, number 30 and number 1. One of these men will be going to Mania, and the 2 men going at it. The last time the pair fought was in the King of the Ring final. Angel Garza came out on top on that occasion. This time it could go either way. Angel Garza, the fresher man, but Kyle O'Reilly never quit, never say die attitude. The 2 men going at it and fighting it out. Angel Garza getting on top, eventually getting Kyle O'Reilly on the ropes. Kyle O'Reilly leaning against him, tired, exhausted, you have to think. Angel Garza running at Kyle, going for the clothesline, but Kyle O'Reilly ducking down, pulling the rope, and Angel Garza flying over it, both feet hitting the floor, eliminated. Your winner of the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble, Kyle O'Reilly. For an 84, Kyle O'Reilly has won the Royal Rumble. Kyle O'Reilly is going to the main event of WrestleMania from number 1. He survived, he wins. The final 4, O'Reilly, Garza, Lee, and LA Knight. Angel Garza, final elimination. Keith Lee, most eliminations. Kyle O'Reilly, the Iron Man. Kyle O'Reilly exhausted, out on his feet, Fish and Strong of the Undisputed Era charging out to the ring and helping Kyle to his feet. He can't believe it. They can't believe it. They're so happy for him. They help him onto the turnbuckle, and Kyle O'Reilly finds the strength to just stand up, clutching his chest, looking around, the crowd cheering, looking to the side and pointing to that sign. The pyro going off. Kyle O'Reilly, the first person tonight that booked their ticket to the main event of WrestleMania for a 76. And we're going to have to wait till later on to find out the second person who books their ticket to the main event of WrestleMania. But for now, the show goes on with the Women's Universal Championship on the line. It is Shayna Baszler defending her gold against Asuka. Asuka says to Shayna Baszler, I took that Women's World title from you, and I'm going to take the Women's Universal as well. But Shayna Baszler is ready. Shayna Baszler, having recently reformed No Mercy with Tay Conti and Sonya Deville, is ready for a fight. She says this time she overcomes Asuka. She keeps her gold. It's the Women's Universal title match between Shayna Baszler and Asuka. And in the end, Shayna Baszler does pick up the win. taking Asuka down with a stiff knee right to the face, laying Asuka out, helping her get that pin to retain her Women's Universal Gold for a 77. Good match, 85 Asuka, 74 Shayna. Very happy with this, as Shayna Baszler stands tall, retaining her Women's Universal Championship. For next up, we have the Women's World Championship match. It is Sasha Banks versus Bayley, the former best friends, the former tag team champions together. I mean, a year ago to the day at the Royal Rumble 2021, Bayley and Banks won the women's tag titles, but now they're fighting. Bayley says that Sasha Banks got obsessed with winning a women's title again, like she always does, and Bayley says she knows there's only one way to snap her out of it, to smack some sense into her and to beat her for that title, but Banks says Bayley can't touch her. Banks says she is the blueprint, the best, the boss, and Bayley's not on her level because she's reached another stratosphere of wrestling excellence. Can Bayley do it? Can Bayley beat Banks, take that women's world title from her, or will Banks come out on top again for the Women's World Championship? Sasha Banks versus Bayley. In the end, Sasha Banks comes out on top, forcing Bayley to submit with the Banks statement and making her fourth defense of the Women's World title for a 90. Amazing match between these two, as ever. I mean, Sasha Banks and Bayley, I personally couldn't think of a bad match they've had, so no surprise there. 92 Banks, 84 Bayley, both doing really well. But it is Sasha Banks who comes out on top in the end and retains her Women's World Championship. For next up, we have the Universal Championship on the line in an Extreme Rules match. Thaddeus Bullard takes on one of his biggest threats yet, the Demon, Finn Balor. Bullard and Balor fought at Halloween Havoc for the Intercontinental title, and Bullard, thanks to interference from Socrates, Torres and Alfonso Bourbon of the Bullard brand, retained his gold, and the three of them laid out Finn Balor, putting him out for November, for December, but finally in January he returned angrier than ever, and with his anger returned the demon looking for Bullard, looking for that Universal Championship, and now the match is here. Extreme Rules, Bullard versus the Demon, Finn Balor, for the Universal Championship. And this is a hard match. The Demon putting all his anger into Bullard. Bullard brand members try and get involved. Socrates, Torres, still aching from earlier, but coming out. LA Knight, Apollo Crews, Cameron Grimes, they're all going for it. All aching from the matches they've had tonight, but all coming out to try and help Bullard. But the Demon laying them all out. A dominant display from the Demon, leaving just him and Bullard in the ring. Finn Balor has Thaddeus Bullard from behind, ready to take him down, when out of nowhere runs Damian Priest, who attacks the Demon Finn Balor from behind, hits him with the Reckoning, and lays him out, picking him up again, and hitting him with a second Reckoning on top of a steel chair. As adding on that to Bullard's attacks earlier in the match, to all the Bullard brand attacks, and in the end, Thaddeus Bullard is able to pick up the victory. A 100 for Finn Balor's Demon entrance earlier, and an 88 for the match. Really good match here, as Thaddeus Bullard beats the Demon Finn Balor to retain his Universal Championship, following all that Bullard brand interference, but also following that interference from Damian Priest. Damian Priest, him and Finn Balor had a bit of a rivalry in 2021. They had a match at SummerSlam where the Demon made his first return in a while and beat Damian Priest, and Priest attacking the Demon here. The 88 for the match, 91 Balor, 83 Bullard. Very happy with this, very good match, as afterwards Thaddeus Bullard raises the Universal title high, laughing. He's beat Finn Balor, the Demon. Finn Balor all talk, but in the end, it's Bullard who got the victory. It's Bullard who is the Universal Champion. He stands tall as Damian Priest makes his way up the ramp, occasionally glancing back at the Demon, laying on the mat and laughing to himself as well for an 86. Very happy with this. Good match, good post-match segment. Bullard standing tall. Thaddeus Bullard still the Universal Champion. And next it's time for the penultimate match of this evening for the WWE Championship. The champion Adam Cole versus the challenger Kevin Owens. It's been building for so long. It started all the way back in June. Adam Cole and Kevin Owens feuding, heading into Money in the Bank, where they were both contestants. Adam Cole coming out on top, winning Money in the Bank. Him and Kevin Owens continuing to feud. And then into August, it was going to SummerSlam. Kevin Owens getting ready to fight Kyle O'Reilly for the US title. Injured by the Undisputed Era, put on the shelf for months by the Undisputed Era. Finally returning in the build-up to Survivor Series, setting his sights on Kyle O'Reilly, getting his match with O'Reilly, finally beating Kyle O'Reilly, winning the US title, immediately cashing in for a shot at the WWE Championship, losing on that occasion, going to War Games. Kevin Owens' team defeated by the Undisputed Era, but then earlier this month, Kevin Owens becoming #1 contender, and now Kevin Owens finally gets his match one-on-one with Adam Cole, and he got to pick the stipulation, and it's very clear. If Adam Cole is disqualified, counted out, or is there any Undisputed Era interference whatsoever, Adam Cole loses the WWE Championship. He's got to win this fair and square. It's Cole versus Owens for the WWE Championship, and in the end, Adam Cole does it. He hits the Panama Sunrise, he hits the last shot, and he retains the WWE Championship for the first 100 of the save. I couldn't have asked for a better match to do it. Adam Cole, Kevin Owens has been an incredible feud that's gone on for so long, and I'm so glad that this is the match that does it. The first 100, Cole and Owens, incredible competitors, both getting 91 in-ring performances. And what a way to start off the road to WrestleMania. What a way to start the year pay-per-view wise, as Adam Cole retains his WWE title for a 100. I am so happy. I've been waiting for that first 100, and I'm really glad it was these two that did it, to be honest. As afterwards, Adam Cole, he's done it. He's finally beat Kevin Owens. He raises the title. He climbs the turnbuckle with the title over his shoulder, and he takes his turn, pointing at the WrestleMania sign. He's saying he's going to WrestleMania as world champion for the second year in a row, baby. And there's no one who's going to stop him. 4-86. Amazing post-match, and I'm lost for words on the match. A 100 from Kevin Owens and Adam Cole to end their feud. Incredible. As after that amazing match, it's time for the main event. The Women's Royal Rumble. 30 women, one winner who will be going to the main event of WrestleMania. Without further ado, let's get right into it. And the Women's Royal Rumble getting underway here, of course, with the first entrant. Becky Lynch makes her way down to the ring. Obviously, #1, not the number you want here. You gotta survive the entire match against everyone if you want to win. If you want to win the Rumble, go to WrestleMania. But Becky Lynch, you can never bet against her, you know. Of all the people who could enter #1 and go on to win it, Becky Lynch, you wouldn't doubt her, you know. You could believe she could do it. But then, of course, we find out also this other person who's going to have to go to gauntlet, #2. And it is Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, of course. Sometimes best friends, other times bitter enemies. And they will be starting the Rumble. Two strong superstars, two multi-time women's champions are both going to have to run the gauntlet here if they want to come out on top, if they want that match for the women's title of their choosing at WrestleMania. The Women's Royal Rumble gets underway. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair going at it. These two have had such great battles and wars over the years, and they're going for one here. They fight it out for the entirety of the 90 seconds, no eliminations. Just these two going at it, high octane, quick start to the Rumble before #3. Asuka making her way down to ring. The Empress of Tomorrow, who's also had great battles with Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair. A very strong start to the Rumble here. Asuka getting in the ring and hitting some strong kicks onto Lynch and Flair. Flair hitting some strong chops onto Asuka. Becky Lynch going for them both as well. All three of these women just going for each other, fighting it out. All three want to win the Rumble. Of course, all three former Women's Rumble winners. I think there's been 4 previous Women's Royal Rumbles. Of course, Asuka won the first, Becky won the second, Charlotte won the third, and then the fourth won by Asuka and Charlotte drawing in my booking in the previous year. Will one of them manage to win it again, or will we get a new Rumble winner? All 3 going at it before number 4 comes out.
Welcome to the ball pit. You can get your
And it is Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi Blackheart. Maybe not the experience of these 3, but she's got the heart. She runs into the ring full steam. She goes right for Asuka. Her and Asuka brawling it out. Shotzi taking every hit Asuka gives her and giving it back to it tenfold. Shotzi, after Asuka going for Charlotte, going for Becky, she goes for all 3 of them. Not wasting time, not sitting in a corner and waiting and stalling. Shotzi right into this. She wants to fight. She wants to prove herself against these 3 veterans, these 3 massive stars in WWE, and she's given as good as she gets from them. Shotzi impressing here. The crowd behind her, they want Shotzi to do well here against these other superstars that they love. And then number 5 comes out. And it's Mickie James. Mickie James right into the ring, right for Shotzi. They've had their problems the last few months. And Shotzi turning her attention to James as well. And they just focus on each other. It is a fight between these 2. Mickie James hitting some big kicks in the end, starting to get on top of Shotzi here, taunting her, laughing, saying, I am better than you. Saying that you don't belong here in this ring. When number 6 comes out. Indy Hartwell. Of course, Indy Hartwell, Mickie James' former protege. Mickie James turning on her, but Indy Hartwell here storms into the ring, going right for James. James goes for a clothesline on Hartwell. Hartwell ducking it, jumping on the rope and hitting that slingshot DDT off of it. Mickie James going backwards, leaning against the rope. Shotzi to her feet. Indy and Shotzi looking at each other, kind of nodding, and then both running at Mickie James and both hitting clotheslines on James, knocking her over the rope and out of the ring. Mickie James, the first elimination here tonight, following a bit of teamwork from Indy and Shotzi. Mickie James not happy with it, as you'd imagine. Indy and Shotzi very much are, both getting their own measures of revenge on Mickie James after the problems they've had with her. And then Indy and Shotzi kind of working together a little bit here against the 3 veterans, you know, increasing their odds slightly. They showed they could work together, taking out Mickie. Why not continue to do so? You know, the Royal Rumble, every superstar for themselves, but if you can find an ally for a short term at least, that'll always increase your odds. As we have number 7 come out.
I'm on my own, against the wall. The pressure's building, but no, I will never fall.
Bianca Belair into the ring. Bianca Belair, of course, not seen since Survivor Series, returning here at the Royal Rumble, going for maybe a shot at a title above the $1 million title, Women's Universal, Women's World, NXT if she wanted it. Bianca Belair into the ring, and Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch have a nice little thing here. These 2 going at it. We all know they can go, and they do, as the 90 seconds eventually runs out. And number 8.
This is my brutality!
Rhea Ripley. This is her brutality. Rhea Ripley down to the ring, and her and Charlotte Flair go at it. They've had great matches in the past, the most recent, of course, at SummerSlam, where Ripley finally overcame Flair to retain that Women's Universal Championship of hers she had at the time. She's lost it since, but she wants it back, you'd have to think. Her and Charlotte going at it here. A brutal encounter between the pair. The ring's starting to fill up quite a bit here before number 9 comes out. And it is destined for greatness's own Jade Cargill making her Royal Rumble debut here. Jade Cargill coming out to the ring and going for Shotzi and Indy. Shotzi and Indy trying to fire off, but Jade Cargill, with her strength, in the end manages to lift both Shotzi and Indy onto her shoulders, holding them both up, looks into the camera for a moment and holds her arms out and just smiles, showing her strength, showing her ability to dominate here before she goes over to the rope and dumps both Shotzi Blackheart and Indy Hartwell over it. A double elimination here for Jade Cargill as Shotzi and Indy both eliminated. Jade showing her ability, showing her strength. They're taking them both out. A big moment for her here in her Rumble debut before number 10 comes out. And it's another superstar making their Royal Rumble debut. This time, though, it is Zoe Stark. And Zoe Stark runs to the ring and she's giving it all she's got. Zoe Stark not wasting time, going for Jade Cargill here. Jade Cargill showed her strength, but Zoe Stark showing her heart. Jade Cargill trying to get on top of Stark, but Stark not giving in. Stark giving it to Cargill, eventually managing to take Cargill onto the floor. Zoe Stark, a good moment for her before number 11.
I'm bad. I don't want to talk if we ain't talking about me. No. Walk into the room, all eyes.
Carmella coming out. And Carmella and Zoe Stark had their problems, of course, and they fight it out in the ring. Both women want this, you'd have to imagine. Zoe Stark in her Rumble debut. Carmella been here longer, hasn't held a women's title in quite some time, though. You'd think she'd want that moment for her, that chance to be a women's champion again. Stark and Carmella both fighting it out, but in the end, Zoe Stark managing to hit that reverse GTS she does that looks so good. Carmella falling backwards towards the rope and Zoe Stark clotheslining her over it. Zoe Stark eliminating Carmella here. Carmella not lasting long at all, but a big moment for Zoe Stark in her debut Rumble, also managing an elimination here. And the match goes on, fights in the ring, between Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair, both strong superstars. Zoe Stark and Asuka having a hard-hitting battle before number 12 comes out. And it is the $1 million champion, Deonna Purrazzo. And she slowly walks to the ring, soaking in the moment, smiling. The superstars in the ring kind of start to look towards her, the amount of time she's taking. When out of nowhere, Aaliyah, Chelsea Green, and Frankie Monet all storm into the ring and start attacking everyone in it. All of them caught off guard. Deonna's little group helping her very much here, as she slowly takes her time smiling, watching as her opponents in the ring are taken down. Deonna's group eventually leaving the ring when they consider the job done. Deonna getting into the ring. First thing she does, lifts up Zoe Stark and throws her out of the ring. Zoe Stark, a good little showing in the Rumble here, but following that beatdown, Deonna gets the easy elimination. Deonna smiling and laughing, the crowd booing as Deonna eliminates her, and then Deonna turning her attention to Bianca Belair. Deonna slowly picking her up by her braid, smiling at the camera again, grabbing Bianca by the head and going to throw over the rope, but Bianca finding the energy and the strength to reverse it, grabbing Deonna and throwing her over the top rope instead. Deonna Purrazzo, the $1 million champion, eliminated here, and she cannot believe it. Her group cannot believe it either. Bianca Belair waving goodbye to her. Deonna in shock here, eliminated from the Rumble by Bianca Belair. The competitors in the ring all slowly, starting to get up as the timer goes down now. All regaining their energy, getting ready for that next superstar to come out. And it's a good thing they did, because the next superstar is Io Shirai. Io Shirai, of course, an incredible competitor, making what is, I do believe, her Royal Rumble debut here, comes out and Io Shirai going at it we get to see some dream little interactions here. Io Shirai going at it with Lynch, going at it with Asuka, going at it with Charlotte. Some big fights, some big moments. Io Shirai showing her ability, showing she can go with these big names, these big superstars, these former women's champions. And also during this time, we get a bit of a battle between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, both strong superstars, both intimidating forces, and they're both going at it. Jade Cargill lifting Bianca onto her shoulders and holding her arms out once again, showing her strength. Bianca, though, rolling off her shoulders and lifting Jade Cargill onto her back, doing the same thing. Cargill, though, holding her arms out, showing her strength, before hitting Cargill with the KOD and then lifting her up and throwing her over the top rope, eliminating her. Jade Cargill, a good showing, got 2 eliminations, showed her ability here, but eliminated by Bianca Belair in the end, before number 14 comes out. And it is one half of the women's tag team champions, Nia Jax, part of the bloodline, of course. Nia Jax, not like most girls, comes down to the ring, and her and Bianca Belair get right into it. A big fight between these two superstars. Belair showed her strength, and she'll need all of it to deal with Nia Jax. Nia Jax trying to outpower her, trying to eliminate her. But in the end, Bianca Belair finally managing to lift Nia Jax onto her shoulders. She finally gets her up when the timer ends, and it's time for number 15. And it's the other half of the women's tag team champions, Naomi, who runs out to the ring, who sprints. It's Charles Robinson at WrestleMania 24 levels of need to get to that ring quickly. Naomi into the ring and drags Nia Jax off of Bianca Belair's shoulders, and Bianca Belair turning around in shock, seeing Naomi, who quickly runs at Bianca Belair and clotheslines her over the top rope. Bianca Belair eliminated here by Naomi. Bianca Belair, strong showing, 2 big eliminations, Jade Cargill and, of course, the $1 million champion Deonna Purrazzo. But in the end, the teamwork of the women's tag team champions here, getting the better of her, Naomi, eliminating her. And Nia Jax and Naomi kind of take control of this match, working together, working over the superstars in the ring, before number 16... And it's Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox running to the ring, showing her heart, not wasting time, going right for Naomi. She knows she'll have to deal with Nia Jax as well, but she manages to take Naomi down. Nia Jax going for her, but Becky Lynch going for Nia Jax as well, taking her down. Nia Jax and Naomi not in control anymore, both down. And once they are, Tegan Nox and Becky Lynch looking at each other. Of course, the two women had some big matches for the NXT Women's Championship in the past, and they have a little encounter here, both women going for it. Tegan Nox, of course, you have to think, still tired from that grueling NXT Women's Championship match earlier in the night against Raquel Gonzalez. But her and Becky Lynch going for it here. Tegan Nox not giving in. In the end, Tegan Nox eliminated by Becky Lynch. Nox, as I said, you'd have to think, still tired, still a bit banged up, but she gave it everything she had here. But it wasn't enough. Tegan Nox eliminated by Becky Lynch. As the buzzer goes, and number 17. Alexa Bliss makes her way out to the ring. Alexa Bliss done very well on Raw since being drafted over. Couldn't overcome Sasha Banks at Armageddon, but still had a good run. And she goes toe-to-toe with Asuka, with Charlotte, with Becky Lynch. 3 superstars here since number 1. We're up to 17 here. All 3 showing their staying power. As Alexa Bliss giving it what she's got. In the end, Alexa Bliss taken down a bit. And Charlotte getting into a bit of a fight with Nia Jax and Naomi. They've had their problems in the recent past as well. Charlotte hitting some chops onto Jax and Naomi at the same time. It's Nia Jax going backwards onto the rope. Charlotte Flair managing to lift her up and out of the ring. Nia Jax eliminated by Charlotte here, who in turn against the ropes at this point, is quickly eliminated by Naomi, who lifts her up and out of the ring. Charlotte Flair eliminated as well. Naomi laughing and smiling and not noticing Becky Lynch from behind, who lifts her up and eliminates her. 3 eliminations in very quick succession here as Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair and Naomi all out. Naomi eliminated by Becky Lynch. Naomi pissed off, slides back in the ring, goes for Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch managing to get advantage and throw Naomi over the top rope once again. But Becky Lynch maybe a bit tired coming in at number 1, a bit banged up for what she's gone through that attack from Naomi from behind, and a bit distracted as well, you have to think. Getting eliminated here, Io Shirai lifting her up and over the top rope, and Becky Lynch pissed off as well here, and Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch both brawling out with Naomi and Nia Jax up the ramp and backstage here as the timer counts down and the buzzer goes off for number 18. Mandy Rose, and Mandy Rose going right for Alexa Bliss here. Alexa Bliss up at this point, her and Mandy Rose fighting it out. Both women, you have to think, wanting their moment. Alexa Bliss has had her moments in the past. Mandy Rose less so. Only title to her name, the $1 Million Championship. Wanting maybe that step further to a Women's World Championship, Women's Universal Championship. Going for Alexa Bliss here, focusing on her when the buzzer goes off for number 19. Ember Moon, former Women's World Champion in very recent times, coming out, wanting this opportunity, wanting to win the Rumble, get that opportunity for a Women's Championship once again. Ember Moon and Asuka rekindled their old rivalry once again. They fought at SummerSlam, remember, for that Women's World title. That's where Ember Moon won it. Asuka and Ember Moon going at it again, because, I mean, they can go, so why not give them the moment here? Both superstars fighting it out in that ring, both going for each other, both wanting to come out on top in that fight, in this interaction. As the buzzer goes down and number 20 comes out. Ruby Riott, and Ruby Riott storms down to the ring, and her and Io Shirai get into a bit here. A hard-hitting little fight between Ruby Riott and Io Shirai. Both superstars not pulling their punches, both of them going for it against each other. Io Shirai starting to get on top a little bit when the buzzer goes off for number 21. And it's Liv Morgan who quickly rushes down to the ring. Liv Morgan, of course, Ruby Riott's tag team partner. Morgan helping Riott out against Shirai. The numbers advantage. Shirai trying her best, managing to fight them off for a moment, but the numbers advantage in the end coming too much for Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan taking control as the buzzer goes off for number 22. And it's Kairi Sane. Io Shirai has found her reinforcements. Kairi Sane rushing down to the ring and helping Shirai, attacking Liv Morgan from behind. Riott going for Sane. Shirai getting back onto her feet, going for Riott. The Riott squad and the Sky Pirates fighting it out here. The Sky Pirates managing to get on top a bit here. Io Shirai eliminating Ruby Riott, taking her out of this match. The 14th elimination. And then we have the 15th elimination. Kairi Sane running at Morgan, going for that clothesline, but Liv Morgan ducking, pulling the rope, and Kairi Sane going out of the ring. Kairi Sane eliminated here by Liv Morgan. Big moment for Morgan as one half of each group here eliminated. Shirai and Liv Morgan remaining in the match. The 15th elimination, the 22nd entrance. Not many superstars left to go, and only 14 eliminations left as the buzzer goes off for number 23 here. And it's Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville, part of Shayna Baszler's little group, No Mercy, remember. has showed her domination in recent times, helping Shayna Baszler out and making her way down to the ring here for the Rumble. You'd think wanting to prove her domination further, wanting to win, wanting to get some more gold for No Mercy, show No Mercy as the truly dominant group in WWE. And she gets in the ring, and Mandy Rose, you know, standing tall over Alexa Bliss at the moment, and her have a little stare down. In the past, tag partners and best friends, of course, separated, and they stare down before both smiling at each other and both looking over Alexa Bliss and kind of nodding knowingly at each other, as before Sonya and Mandy Rose both go over and attack Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss not having fun at the moment, now being double teamed by Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. She was having a hard enough time dealing with Mandy Rose on her own without adding Sonya into the mix. But Alexa Bliss may be very thankful because the buzzer goes off for number 24. And it's Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss's former tag team partner, separated in the WWE draft back in November, but reunited here. Nikki Cross running down to the ring and taking out Sonya and Mandy Rose. A flush of energy from Nikki Cross, taking them out, helping Alexa Bliss to her feet, and the pair of them smile at each other and hug, the crowd cheering. A lovely little moment here for the pair, but maybe that hug poorly timed because them both a little bit distracted. Rose and Deville back to their feet, and Rose and Deville taking the advantage back, eliminating Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss together here for the 16th and 17th eliminations. Rose and Deville showing their ability to work together, but it doesn't last long because they high-five. Sonya Deville, though, keeping a hold of Rose's arm. Rose crying out in pain as Sonya Deville lifts her up and slams her over the top rope and out of the ring. Sonya Deville with 3 quick eliminations here as Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss and Mandy Rose have all exited the match before the buzzer goes off for number 25.
Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega doesn't wrestle much, and mainly, you know, the manager and the mouthpiece for Legado over on NXT. But here in the Rumble, taking her time, making a long entrance to the ring, smiling, waving at the crowd. This is her moment, climbing the steel steps, turning around and smiling at the crowd once again for getting in the ring, where she is very quickly and promptly clotheslined out of it by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley quickly eliminating Vega here. Vega can't believe it, in shock on the outside. The crowd, you know, laughing, giving away as she is eliminated following that long entrance by Rhea Ripley here. And then things continuing on in the ring. Sonya Deville gets into it a bit with Asuka, gets into it a bit with Rhea Ripley. 2 big fights. Sonya Deville showing her ability and her aggression against these big names. Her and Asuka have a little bit where they just trade these big stiff kicks with each other as the time eventually counts down and the buzzer goes off for number 26. Cora Jade, the young NXT upstart, makes her way down to the ring here, goes into it, and giving it all she's got though. Sonya Deville noticing her and turning her attention to her because Sonya Deville, you know, a bit of a bully here, going for the inexperienced Cora Jade here. Sonya Deville focusing on her, enjoying hurting her. She probably could just eliminate her, but Sonya Deville having too much fun to just do that. As the timer counts down once again for number 27. It's Doudrop, and Doudrop into the ring, and her and Sonya Deville get into it here. Her and Sonya Deville fighting it out. Doudrop using her strength, but Sonya Deville not one to back down for a fight, giving as good as she gets. The two fighting it out. Sonya Deville managing to get Doudrop onto the rope and showing her strength here. Manages to lift Doudrop up slightly. Looks like she may eliminate her. Doudrop, though, elbowing Sonya in the face, dropping her. Sonya a bit distracted, a bit blinded, not noticing Cora Jade sneak towards her and lift her up by her legs, flipping her over the rope and out of the ring. Sonya Deville eliminated here by Cora Jade. A shock moment. No one can believe it. The crowd cheering, Cora Jade smiling. She's done it. She eliminated Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville, a good little run here. 3 eliminations, but eliminated by Cora Jade, and she can't believe it. Sonya Deville into the ring, attacking Cora Jade here, beating her down, teaching her a lesson, you have to think, as the timer counts down for number 28. And it's Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae, of course, Cora Jade's mentor of sorts in NXT, running down to the ring. Sonya Deville seeing LeRae running down, obviously deeming she's done enough to Jade, sliding out of the ring and going for LeRae, and her and Candice LeRae fighting it out on the ramp here. Both women going for it, but Sonya Deville managing to get the advantage, grabbing Candice LeRae by the hair and throwing her into the barricade, completely taking her out here. Candice LeRae not in the ring yet, but Sonya Deville getting her anger at being eliminated here out on the pairing of Cora Jade and Candice LeRae. Whilst in the ring, Cora Jade a bit distracted by Sonya Deville taking out Candice LeRae, not seeing Liv Morgan come up from behind and eliminate her before Asuka and Liv Morgan going at it. Liv Morgan, a heel, but the crowd getting behind her a bit here. You know, she eliminated Kairi Sane. She's been here in the ring for quite a bit. She's going against these top superstars and giving it her all, but in the end, Asuka maybe a bit too much for her here. Hits a stiff kick, Liv Morgan going backwards into the rope, and Asuka eliminating her. The 22nd elimination, Liv Morgan. A good run here, but still not enough as she is eliminated. And then we have the spot I feel you have to have in every Rumble. Doudrop starts to take control of it, starts to be a bit dominant. Everyone may be realising they need to work together, because how is anyone going to get Doudrop over the top rope? Everyone working together, and in the end, the combination of Asuka, Ember Moon and Io Shirai managing to eliminate Doudrop here. The 23rd elimination, Doudrop out of the match. A nice little run here for her, but eliminated by that trio of superstars as the timer countdowns for the penultimate entrant, number 29. Toni Storm, and Toni Storm coming down to the ring, checking on Candice LeRae, helping her up. Her and Candice LeRae both entering the ring together. Candice kind of going into the corner, kind of nursing her wounds a bit, whilst Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley stare down. They've had battles in the past, haven't they? NXT UK, they feuded for that title. Ripley, the inaugural champ, Toni Storm winning it from her, and the two superstars fighting it out. Both women wanting to win this match, and wanting maybe as well to prove they're better than the other. They fight it out here. Neither really fully takes control. The ring filling up here as the timer counts down for the final entrant in the 2022 Women's Rumble.
Style and grace, I'm never gonna be done. Lean on in. Now welcome to the Queendom.
Where the kings bow down, they relinquish the crown.
And yes, it's Stephanie McMahon. The crowd cheers. Thank God Stephanie is here, the woman who created the women's evolution. I kid, of course. The crowd booing, not happy. You'd think she was Rey Mysterio and it's 2014, the way they're going on. Stephanie McMahon smiling, so smug, making her way down the ramp. The crowd not happy. Stephanie at the bottom of the ramp, kind of jumping up and down, getting ready to fight, doing some shadow boxing, saying she's going to win this, she's going to win this. The superstars in the ring, all kind of stopping their fighting and looking out at her. As suddenly, yes, the music of Ronda Rousey. The crowd explodes. Stephanie looks shocked and terrified as Ronda Rousey comes out, storms down the ramp and attacks Stephanie McMahon, taking her out on the outside before turning to look at the ring. And Ronda Rousey enters the ring, the 30th and final superstar. We are down to 7 here. And Ronda Rousey, right in the ring, goes for Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae up on her feet a bit here, but still nursing that attack from Sonya Deville. Ronda Rousey maybe an easy elimination for her here. Candice LeRae out. Whilst Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley's little fight finally ends with Rhea Ripley on top, eliminating Toni Storm here before Ember Moon and Ronda Rousey going at it. Ronda Rousey managing to eliminate Ember Moon. And then finally, Ronda Rousey and Asuka going at it here. Both of them doing some stiff kick. Ronda getting on top, doing some stiff punches and elbows, getting Asuka onto the rope, and then clotheslining her out of it, eliminated. And we are down to the final three here. Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, and Ronda Rousey. And the three women circle each other. They stare down, the crowd going crazy. We will have a first-time Rumble winner here. One of these three women will be getting a Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. But who will it be? The three of them going at it. Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai forming kind of a temporary alliance here against Ronda Rousey. You know, Ronda Rousey, the freshest superstar here. Maybe take her down a bit here. Ripley and Io Shirai working together for the time being. Ronda trying to fight them off, but obviously Ripley and Io not to be messed with. Rhea Ripley and Shirai's alliance not lasting long though before they kind of turn on each other, fighting it out as well. A brutal little encounter between those two. Ronda on her feet, joining in as well, lifting up and slamming Shirai to the mat, whilst Ripley grabbing Ronda Rousey and doing the same, lifting her up and slamming her to the mat. Ripley standing tall, lifts up Io Shirai and goes to throw her over the top rope, but Io managing to hang on, standing on the apron on the outside. Rhea running her, going for a big boot, but Io moving out the way and dragging Ripley onto the apron as well, and the two of them slugging it out on the apron. Io Shirai in the end using the turnbuckle for advantage, jumps up and hits a big enziguri onto Rhea Ripley, who bounces against the rope and falls to the outside. Rhea Ripley taken out. The final two here, Io Shirai and Ronda Rousey. Io Shirai on the apron though, and Ronda Rousey running at her and jumping up and hitting an knee to the face as Io Shirai, taken out, falls off the apron and to the mat. Your winner of the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble, Ronda Rousey here. Ronda Rousey is back, and Ronda Rousey is going to WrestleMania. She did it. She won the Royal Rumble. The final four, Rousey, Shirai, Ripley and Asuka, star-studded final four. Io Shirai final elimination. Ronda Rousey and Io Shirai both getting the joint most eliminations over the course of the match. Io Shirai spreading hers out. Ronda Rousey showing up at the end and making an immediate impact, dumping people out of the ring. And in the end, is Ronda Rousey who wins the Rumble. And Ronda Rousey's going to WrestleMania. 83 for the match. We're very happy with that. Just like the men's, with 30 people in it. Varying ratings, you know, a 58-minute match. You don't know how it's going to do, but an 83 is really, really good. As afterwards, Ronda Rousey climbs to the turnbuckle, and in the years since her debut, she's finally learned how to point, and she points perfectly at that WrestleMania sign. Ronda Rousey's back, and she's going to WrestleMania for a 100 rated match, and we end the show on a 100 rated segment. I couldn't ask for more, really. What a way to the end of the show. What a first pay-per-view of the year. What a proper start to the road to WrestleMania. I'm speechless. The Royal Rumble, an incredible show. Overall rating of 86. I think that's just because the main event match was an 83. If Adam Cole, Kevin Owens was the main event, this gets a 99. This probably gets a 100 because there was 4 100 rated segments, but I won't complain too loudly about an 86, to be honest with you. I'm very happy. An amazing show. The Royal Rumble, the road to WrestleMania truly has begun. Gonna make my speeches. Who the hell do I make speeches to? Right, I legally have to do it to Adam Cole and Kevin Owens. And I'll do it to Kyle instead of Ronda. Because Ronda, you know, is Ronda. She's already got the high stuff. Kyle O'Reilly, though, he deserves this. Kyle O'Reilly's been an MVP all year for me. All save for me, really. And so I think he deserves some praise on his great performance on winning the Rumble. Happy, pleased, and I am over the moon. What a show. What a start to the year. Our first 100 rated match as well. I genuinely couldn't be happier. Oh, but that is going to be it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this incredible pay-per-view. Kyle O'Reilly and Ronda Rousey winning the Rumbles. They're going to Mania. Owens and Cole getting the first 100 rated match. An incredible show. If you did enjoy and you're looking forward to seeing what happens next on the long, twisting and winding road to WrestleMania, then please do like the video, subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.